Hey everyone, I know my recent videos have been primarily my Inscription series, which you should check out, but that isn't the only game that I've played this summer. I've gotten into a good handful of high quality games just to play for my own enjoyment off camera. So I figured I'd tell you guys what games I've been playing in my free time, just a quick overview about what each game is about, and my overall feelings about each game. Let me know if you guys enjoy this type of review, personal thoughts, content style, as I may do more videos like this in the future. Rogue Legacy 2 is such a fantastic game. It's the perfect roguelike game for someone just getting into the roguelike genre. The game is challenging, but it never really felt unfair. And the great part is you're constantly progressing, unlocking permanent upgrades, pieces of armor, and runes that make each run just last a few seconds or even minutes longer. Now there's also traits or perks that your character might have that give extra gold, but at a disadvantage. Now these traits can range from just silly gags when your character farts whenever you jump, to straight up debilitating. Now your character, for example, might be a pacifist one run, and isn't able to attack anything, but you may be able to find a weapon for use during the run, so suddenly you're able to fight again and still have this insane gold multiplier. Now these traits provide both variability and a fun twist to each run without seriously inhibiting the core gameplay. Now the bosses in this game are also so distinct from one another, and each have a great set of moves that push you to your mechanical limits in this game. There's the knight guy, the basic knight guy, and then there's the skeleton twins, there's two of them, and then there's the flower lady, she kinda bad. And then there's the Wizard Man, but the Wizard Man isn't actually the real boss, it's actually a fake chest at the end that's actually a mimic, like from D&D, and I was completely flabbergasted the first time that happened to me. Great game, 5 out of 5 stars. The fact that I'm currently on New Game Plus 7 and have almost 100 hours put into this game goes to show just how replayable it is. Now, I truly recommend this game to all of my friends who don't already have it. Buy it now. Metroid Dread was released in late 2021, so I'm a bit behind to the party, but I saw a used copy of the game for a cheaper price of around $40 instead of the normal $60, so I decided to pick it up. It was my first Metroid game ever in the series, and I was a bit worried. These games are known to be difficult and very maze-like, but I have to say, the way the game was designed didn't make it feel like that at all. Each area on the map was distinct and had its own aesthetic. The map is crystal clear with lots of detail, and whenever I unlocked a new ability, where I needed to use the ability in order to progress in the main story was right around the corner. I never felt lost. Now besides the final boss, I would say that the bosses in this game weren't too extremely difficult. I definitely had my frustrating moments with the Chozo warriors, screw those guys, but it wasn't anything to break a controller over. Each boss felt like a dance, like a salsa. I had to study their moveset, jump and dodge accordingly, and take time in between attacks to get damage in. And once I defeated a boss, I felt like I really accomplished something, like I really overcame a difficult roadblock in my path to success. Now the Emmy robots, which are found in the game, are a completely different story. They're like a mini stealth sections where Samus is the mouse and the Emmy robot is the cat. You can't kill these robots with your normal equipment, so your only option is to evade them. These sections made for some really intense moments throughout my playthrough, and it didn't wear off or feel like a novelty to me personally. I really enjoyed it. Now my only real complaint about the game is its length. It took me about 6 hours and 30 minutes to complete the entire game on normal difficulty, and then I went back to collect all the items that I had missed for a total of 10 hours of gameplay. I had missed a lot of items, about like 70% of them. Now, although I'm not expecting every single game to be 30 hours long with 20 hours of side quest content, I think that asking $60, which is the normal retail price currently for such a short game, is a bit steep. If I didn't find a used copy for cheaper, I honestly think the price of the game would have turned me away from purchasing it. Other than that, if you're willing to pay the $60 price, I'd recommend this game to anyone. It was a great time. Oh man, have I had my eyes on this game for a while. I finally decided to buy Enter the Gungeon since it was on sale, and this may come to a shocker, but at first I didn't like it. At first! Now don't click away from the video yet. The reason why I didn't like it at first was because the world just felt kinda empty. There are only 4 playable characters to start with, and not many other people to talk to. But the more you play the game, you find other NPCs that you can rescue from the Gungeon. They become shop owners, or they provide challenges for you, or if you help them, they will reward you. Then, as I found more silly and goofy weapons, this game was just full of personality and didn't feel empty anymore. There was this guy, and these 2, I love those 2, and the guy with the green indentured servant, I don't know the legalities behind that, and the one dude who, if you knock over his hat, he gets really mad at you. Now, you see, I wasn't even upset to die, because then I could check in with each of these NPCs to see if they had anything new to say that would help me advance further in the game. There's still so much to this game that I have yet to uncover, and it's a title that I will come back to time and time again. Obviously, I had to talk about this game. Inscription took over my channel this summer with its unique story and mysterious environment of a desolate log cabin. The core gameplay of the card game is genuinely fun to play, but the game is constantly reinventing itself as well, introducing new game mechanics, cards. Hell, I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't played it or watched my series, but the game literally completely changes 3 separate times. Also, the deep hidden lore of the old data is a super cool concept and gives off old, like mid-2010s creepypasta vibes. If you want to know more about the extent that developers went to in order to hide the real lore behind the old data, I recommend checking out Game Theory's videos on Inscription. There are cipher, nods to developers' past projects. It's a level of dedication to game lore that I have never seen before. This is honestly probably my favorite game of this summer, and yeah, if you haven't gotten it spoiled for you already, I really recommend anyone to go out and get this game and play it and just enjoy it. Children of Morta is a roguelike game based around family. Family, Vin Diesel family. And although the family is very charming and the narrator has the voice of a sexy angel.
The heat had only grown more intense in the young child's hands, far stronger than any would suspect in one so young. Her training could no longer be just a pastime, for fire was a dangerous friend.
The game feels very slow to me. It takes a while to unlock the entire family as playable characters, and family members level up individually and use individual skill points to unlock abilities specific for them. And although there are general upgrades that happen at certain times for the whole family, this style of progression feels disjointed from the central idea of this family being tightly knit. Why have them level up individually when a core theme of the game is that they stick together and help each other out? Also, the game forces you to play as certain family members, even if you don't want to. If you play with the same character for too long, they will become tired, or they might even have a health debuff and have to rest. This forces you to play as another character. Now, this causes 2 things to happen. 1, you may be forced to play as a character that isn't as strong because you spent less time with them or you just don't like their playstyle. And 2, it takes away the player's choice to choose how they want to play. A small tiny nitpick I have with the game is that it feels like that the game's way of making things more difficult is just by throwing more enemies than you can handle at once at you, which is not a good way to scale difficulty in my opinion. Now, where this game really shines is its atmosphere, sound design, and story. Just listen.
Making mistakes was part of learning, no matter how talented you are. Lucy was feeling disheartened. Once more, she had better mastery of fire this time. But wait, disaster was about to happen. Thankfully, her father intervened in time.
Also, I think that this game may be a better co-op experience, since then at least the family's working together, in order to progress through the story. I think that this game has a unique charm to it that other games I've talked about just simply don't have. But I also understand that this game may not be for everyone due to the reasons I've talked about. To be honest, I have not put enough time into Dead Cells to give an opinion of the entire game, but what I have played so far, I really enjoy. This is another roguelike game, but what I love about it is that the player is rewarded no matter how they choose to approach a run. For example, if you decide to play fast and get to a rest point within 2 minutes from when you start the run, you are rewarded with 20 cells. This is the game's currency that is used for permanent upgrades. And with a weapon of some sort you're also given. Now say you take a slower approach to the run, exploring every nook and cranny that the map has to offer. You may still find 20 or even more cells just from killing enemies. Along with that, there are health upgrades and weapons scattered all around the map. It's a win-win. I also have to mention how great the art design of the game is. Characters and enemies are colorful and pop off the screen, the animation is fluid, and every section of the game that I have explored has its own unique aesthetic. I can't wait to play more of this game. That's it. Those are the main titles that I've played over this summer, and I have to say, overall I've enjoyed my time with all these games, regardless of my tiny nitpicks and complaints. Now, if any of these games sound interesting to you, just check them out. It can't hurt. Just watch a review that isn't IGN to get a better idea of if you'll like it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out any of my other videos on this channel, and thank you for watching.